Shlump.
Hello everybody, it's me Shlump, and I'm back from vacation. So now I'm going to be uploading videos again. And when I was on vacation, I got a comment from a viewer on the video that I made before I left for vacation on Halo Infinite, and they said that I should try playing the game again using Proton Experimental. Now, I was a bit skeptical of this at first because I had tested it with Proton Experimental. I don't know if it made it in the final video, but I definitely played it with the Proton 7, Proton Experimental, and whatever latest Proton GE version was available at that time. And I think in the video I did Proton GE, but I did try Proton Experimental, and it got really the same performance. But this viewer said, hey, you should try again with Proton Experimental. So I thought, why the heck not, I'll try it, see if it actually does something, and lo and behold, it actually did. It made the game run significantly smoother than it did before, to the point where now in multiplayer, playing against real people, you can get a pretty consistent 60 FPS. So it is crazy how much of a difference it makes just switching to Proton Experimental. So Valve must have updated that a few days after I made that video, and now the game is much more playable on Steam Deck. I'd say you can actually play it on Steam Deck and have a good time. Still probably wouldn't recommend it as being your main way of playing Halo Infinite. You probably want to use it in a way that people use Fortnite Mobile on their phones, where they play Fortnite on their PC or console, and then if they're on the go but they want to get some challenges done in the game, they can just hop into the mobile version real quick on their phones. So I imagine this is probably what people are going to do with Halo Infinite on the Steam Deck, as it's not really the best experience yet, because it still has some crashes. When I first went to record this new footage using the new Proton Experimental, it crashed the first time, and also on the first match, it can stutter pretty heavily, a lot, the lines fly right here, but it can stutter a lot for the first match, and after that it gets better. The frame rate also doesn't stick to 60. You'll notice there are still some drops in the game, and also just some big heavy stutters and lurches on the frame time graph there to the top left. It's not perfectly smooth, but it's definitely a whole lot better than it was, I'd say, about over a week ago. And I know too that this game isn't fully done being optimized on the Steam Deck yet. Valve's still going to be working on it in the future, so I think we can expect even better performance out of it as time progresses. And even what we have right now is impressive. I mentioned it in the last Halo Infinite video that I made, that the Xbox One version of the game runs at 30 FPS, yet we're getting pretty consistent 60 FPS here on the Steam Deck, a handheld. So it really just shows how far handhelds have come recently. Even though this game is not yet fully optimized for the Steam Deck, it is still a marvelous moment for gaming, and this game's only going to get better over time on the Steam Deck. Also, in this video, I've included 40 FPS 40 Hz gameplay in case you're maybe thinking about trying that out with Halo Infinite on the Steam Deck to get rid of any frame rate drops or stutters that you have with 60 FPS. But unfortunately, this mode's not going to do it for you if that's what you want it to do, because there's still pretty significant stutters with it, even more so than in 60 FPS, I'd say. So you still get those, and also adds a huge amount of input latency to Halo Infinite, where going from 60 FPS to 40 FPS, obviously in any game, is going to add input latency, and it's especially noticeable in shooters, and it's even more effective here in Halo Infinite. For some reason, it really does not like this mode, and it's pretty much just impossible to aim, as you'll see when I get into the 40 FPS footage very shortly. So I would not recommend playing at 40 FPS in Halo Infinite on the Steam Deck. Just play at 60 FPS, and it's still a pretty good time already. So that's the current situation with Halo Infinite on Steam Deck. If you switch to Proton Experimental, it makes the game run a whole lot more smoother, to a point where it's actually almost at a perfect 60 FPS lock. A little bit more work on this game, and with all the settings out low, you'll be able to get to 60 FPS. So it's definitely playable now on the Steam Deck, and it's only going to get better in the future. And thank you for watching. That's the end of the video. If you enjoyed watching it, found it useful, helpful, informative, entertaining in any way, like the video and subscribe for more Steam Deck videos just like this one. I'll be making more in the future, and most people who watch my videos are not actually subscribed, so it would really be awesome if you did subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.